Welcome tonight to Oceanus, New York. My name is Elaine. I'm the art director and the curator for the arts here at this beautiful retail location. And tonight we have the artist Doba Afolabi with us for an amazing and inspiring talk that we're going to do. We were just having a wonderful conversation actually before about your art and how it's evolved over the years. So let's let the audience know a little bit about your beginnings as an artist.
Anyway, like you all know, my name is Doba Afolabi. That's a very short form of my very lengthy African name. I just don't want to break jaws. That's why I limit it to Doba Afolabi. It's actually Adedeji Adedoba Afolabi, a Yoruba name from Southwest Nigeria, where I was born. And I migrated to US. I've been an artist all my life, so to say. Though in between, I did this job and that job just as economy would demand when I came here, because I was working at the museum, Met Museum at the time.
No kidding.
And yeah, I worked there for 3 years. And I did work at HRA in New York City as a case worker for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
But I graduated in fine arts. I had my first degree in fine arts. And I've been in studio arts all my life, just like I said. And I still practice. I'm still in the studio right now. And this is one of the pieces I made. I'm represented by a couple of galleries in the United States and outside. And acquisitions all over the world. And notable places, government parastatals and stuff like that. So that's just the brief shot of how I can introduce myself.
Your art is in a lot of different collections. You have traveled, I guess, the world, and are an award-winning artist with great merit. We were having such an interesting conversation before about ethics in the art world. And I just want to do a little bit of a recap of that as it pertains to you and your experiences here. Because I'm also an artist, as are other people in this room. And everyone has been through their trials, and there have been many, many changes with the coming of AI into the art world and the economics involved. And if you would like to give me, again, your take on it, I think people need to hear it.
We were just discussing about the way and manner art has went down when it comes to like professionalism per se, like almost everybody now is an artist because of technology first, and because of the fact that a lot of people have the resources, have the connections to get their work to high places. And before you know it, they're talking about them here and there and stuff like that. And a lot of people who really studied art, probably actually have what it takes to be an artist, went through all those curriculums and stuff like that. They hardly have any place just because of one thing or the other. In case you don't have, if you don't have like sponsorship, it's very tough. Sometimes even when you produce the work, you don't know where to go if you don't have gallery representation. Somebody like me, they found me online. Most of my galleries that represent me, I don't know them from Adam. They just found what I'm doing online. And one of them knew me through Bombay Sapphire. Yeah, there's a competition that I put in those days, and he decided to represent me in Chicago, up to date.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, but not everybody can see, not every artist can have that opportunity.
Yeah.
We know. But when it comes to like, just because my father is a minister or my mother is this or
Yeah.
that, I just jump into. So in that wise, art in a way becomes asylum
Right.
that people just rush into it. And
Yeah.
what another thing, the very funny thing right now is this issue of stratification and classification of art. This is pop art, this is modern art, this is this and that.
Right.
People just, anybody can easily become a pop artist, just trying to do one
Well,
thing
they
or the
like
other.
that word, right? They
Yeah.
like to use that word.
Exactly.
It's the Andy Warhol privilege
Exactly,
of
exactly,
pop art. I get it. I get it.
yeah,
Your art over here that we have, kinetic terrain.
yeah,
I mean, I call it abstract expressionism. It's got a lot of movement.
yeah.
I see the work involved,
Yeah.
and when anybody asks you the price on a piece of art, and then they get astonished at that price. And
Yeah.
I try to explain, right, that it took an entire lifetime
Yeah.
for the art to get on that canvas.
Yeah.
It took the education. The artists had to learn the rudiments, right, and build their whole career to get to this point. And that's why the price is XYZ. That's why it's in this gallery. That's why it's in an even bigger place, and in private collections and in embassies and this and that. But it took your whole lifetime to get there.
I know.
You're a true
And
master.
okay, like just like you said, I've seen so many galleries that will not sell this less than six figures. 100,000, 200,000. I've seen
Right.
so many galleries. And I've seen friends in the same practice that will never sell this less than the same price.
Correct.
But the point there is, a lot of buyers don't understand price. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of buyers don't even understand art.
Right.
They just want to collect, they just want to buy. And what they want to buy is what they want to buy. What they have in mind, they're not really like understand how it works when it comes to the profile of the artist, where the artist has been. Because, for example, when you see an artist that his work is already in government acquisition, big corporate bodies acquisition, as exhibited in like Met, as exhibited in, let's say, Pfizer World Headquarters, and all those kind of stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Major television house acquisition and stuff like that. They don't see it from that end because probably they don't even care to go and. Sometimes I always tell my buyers, please take your time, go and read about me online.
Right.
So that you know what you're trying to get.
Right.
Because sometimes you may not know, you just think you're buying a piece of art from an artist.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you're buying something to put in your living room over your
stuff
sofa.
like that.
And what it really is it's an investment.
It is.
It's a true investment.
Exactly. So it's way beyond the aesthetics or
Mm-hmm.
beautification.
Yeah.
It's for prospect. It's for investment.
That's right.
But not everybody understands it that way.
No, and that's where the education comes in. And this is why it's so important to talk to people that walk into any gallery and ask them, what piece is interesting you, and why are you interested in that piece, and did you know that about this artist, and tell them and educate them, because the average person doesn't know. Right? Unless they're a specific collector who came specifically to find that piece, or specifically to see, who do you have? Who's on the walls of this gallery?
And sometimes they have scouts.
Yes, they do.
They have scouts who like buy for them. Like when you get to big names like Sotheby's, Phillips, Christie's, and all this what's not, they have people that like they just sit down on the sofa at home
Yeah.
and the scout do the work for them, because the scout do the first thing to know about the artist, and probably to know about the work and the story behind the works.
That's right. That's
So, and with that, they educate them better with that, so that it would equip them with like the confidence in what they're trying to get.
Yeah. What always interests me about a piece of art is the story behind it. I always feel like you can't just push out art just to push it out. There should be a story behind it, linked to it, to give your audience that interest and to tell them more about you as the person.
Exactly.
You were showing me about one of your your first, like, most famous piece, right?
Yeah.
In this Into the Storm, was it?
Ride the Storm.
Ride,
Yeah, that's where
Ride the Storm.
Exactly. That's where it came in. Because I always say sometimes circumstances and events and situations can drive you to producing something very amazing that is even beyond your expectations. Sometimes, years by, like 2012 or 2013, I lost my house to fire. And I was, I never wanted to do any other thing than just uh, show my rage on the canvas, you know, lashing the canvas with colors and strokes and stuff like that. And I ended up in what people call a masterpiece. I titled it "Ride the Storm," which was eventually bought by a collector in New York. So sometimes things like that happen. You don't know what happens sometimes when situation drives you into like doing something. But in most cases, it has a lot of influence on artists mostly.
That's right.
It drives in their psychoanalysis and emotions and stuff like that.
That's right.
Most especially when they're doing particular.
That's right.
Particular
And I always say you have to, with life and all the things that get thrown at us, how lucky are the people that are creatives that can, absorb it and throw it right back out there in such a creative way.
Exactly.
Whether it's the visual paintings or film or photography or music, it's the creative people who teach us how to endure.
Like this one, I've been having nightmares of rail line tracks.
Oh, really?
For many, like I had it repeatedly, and sometimes I had this subconscious reasoning, some subconscious thinking about climate change. For no reason, I've been thinking about climate change, like how the iceberg and all those polars are melting and stuff like that. And sometimes I think about the miners. There was a time there was an accident in a mine, probably in South Africa or somewhere, or and some guys were, accidentally locked under the ground and stuff like that. So when I saw the picture of the mine too, I was just thinking about the geographic, the phenotypical aspect of the structure, how it's going to look like, or I just imagined it. And what came to my mind is like, okay, if the iceberg is melting, it means the wave of the ocean could even freeze. It's frozen. And I started getting the impression of this kind of movement on the canvas. And I was, carving it out in my strokes.
Got it.
Just lashing out. In fact, actually, I did some of them with figures, because when you get to read about me online, you're going to see some of my works in figures too. I'm very eclectic.
Okay.
Very, very eclectic. When I think of doing something right now, the next moment I think of another thing, I jump into it.
Okay, got it.
That's the kind of the problem I have with expression, with doing art. I would call it a problem in quotes, because out of all this problem, all this notoriety, at least I make a lot of masterpieces out of them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So sometimes I want to do something. Another time I think about something. I'm always experimental in everything I do, from one stage to another.
Right.
So I never really like, okay, you're gonna see me and you think this is the way I walk all through. No, I can't do that. I can't stay on the subject for too long. I
Got it.
can't stay on the color palette for too long.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, so
the
I can't do that.
blues are like
Yeah.
there's so many blues and blacks and like
Exactly.
wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So thinking about that, I was just trying to drive this in, and at the end of the day, I find something like screen, something like uh, though it's two-dimensional, but when you look at it as a block, it's coming out like three-dimension. It's like coming out of the canvas. That's actually how many of my works look like. They look sculptural.
That's right.
Because of the texture.
Right.
Though
Yes.
my old works actually had thick impasto, thicker than this.
Oh really?
Yeah, but I was just gradually,
Okay.
getting a little bit more,
Okay. Wow.
relaxed.
Okay. And so
to get all this.
this is amazing, and it's a piece that's attracted actually a lot of attention during
you.
like the week. Like people come in and they'll take a look and ask questions about it, and just ask, well, how was this done? This is amazing.
Yeah.
But where else are you showing now?
Yeah. I have a solo show at City College, which I call urban symphonies. Symphonies in the sense that I made what I call deconstructionism of skyline. It's like a skyline, but I made them in fragments of colors. So it's quite different from the usual conventional cityscape.
Got it.
It's a pity I don't have the picture here, but you guys gonna have the picture online. So all you see is fragments of colors.
What's the website to look at?
I'll just go to my Instagram. You're gonna find it there because I shut down my. That's where
we were talking.
I shut down my website because I encountered some issues, like I got a couple of guys duplicating works and stuff like that, and I just let me just shut it down for a while and concentrate on my Instagram.
Right, but if you go on the website for City College, CC.
You're gonna find it there. Yeah.
Just Google like City College.
City College. Yeah.
It's on 135th Street.
35th Street. On Amsterdam. On Amsterdam.
I'm gonna add it. Thank you. Yeah.
On Amsterdam, you're gonna find it there. Yeah. And so it's deconstructionism. That's what I've called it. You're gonna see lines, digital lines like that. It's very, very digital. I have the picture here anyway, right? I'm gonna show you after. So yeah.
I love it. I just love it. No, I know that your moments, the tower moment inspired you greatly. But what other artists are you personally inspired by?
Well, during my academic years, I always favored Van Gogh. I always love, I don't know for one reason or the other, I love Van Gogh and Dali. Dali because there's hardly any night I won't have a dream. If I sleep 2 minutes, I will have a dream. And at the end of it all, I don't give a damn, excuse my language, about night. I don't even know the meaning of nightmares or sweet dreams. It's something I get every day. So yeah. So from that psychoanalytic angle, but believe me, I like what that man that I never believed was crazy. I never believed that guy was crazy. I would believe that he was just eccentric. That's the way I would put it, because the way the guy commandeered and masterminded colors at his time.
That's right.
Is way beyond expectation. It's extraordinary. It's such extraordinary.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
There's some people
yeah,
joining us.
yeah,
And so that's, yeah, I love Dali
yeah,
very much.
yeah, yeah.
My father loved Dali
Okay.
because he was from Spain too. So that was
Yeah,
a
that's
big thing in my house.
actually one of Dali's work that looks like the Last Supper
Yeah,
was one of the first commission I got in Miami.
really.
Big commission, yeah. Somebody said I should print it. I should paint it for him, and that was the first time I would see a, uh, a frame made with marble. They made a marble from the building, like the frame, and stuck the painting in there, just like that. That was
Wow.
the first time I would see anybody do it
Wow.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So, yeah, I mean, this has been such a great informative talk. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy that you're showing with us. We have one more piece over here, and
Yeah.
it's actually not on the camera,
Okay.
right? It's behind us. So if we could just tell us a little bit about this piece.
Okay. The piece over there is actually one of my series of, I would call it experimental series of what I call kinetic terrain.
Okay.
Yeah, I call that one Wintry City, a city in winter, which is so dimmed by the color scheme and stuff like that. And you're going to see people mingle with skyline there that is not really vividly defined. You can't really pick a figure, but you can feel figures, you can feel the skyline in
Right.
horizon and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's just a feeling of winter in a city.
Right.
That's the kind of feeling I'm trying to get there. You know,
And I like
yeah,
it. I
yeah,
like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think a very small piece and very, very successful. I like it too. Yeah,
I like it too.
yeah.
I like it very much. So I'm gonna open this up to questions from anybody.
Yeah.
Right now, let's do a little bit of a Q&A. Again, I'm going to shorten your name because this is Doba Afolabi. He's an abstract expressionist from Nigeria. And you have been over 30, an artist for over 30 years.
Yes, now an artist.
And so if anyone has questions about his art or his experiences as an artist, now would be the time to ask.
Go ahead, okay.
Do you ever use red?
I use red sometimes, but not every time. Thank you, you asked me that question. And sometimes when I use red, I kill the hue. But if I really want to use red, because there was one particular piece I did a long time ago, I called The Red Rock. The Red Rock. It's a lady dancing, everything there red. Then I did another one, I forgot the lady, I call it the selfie before selfie, something about selfie, like a lady looking in the mirror.
Okay.
You know,
like the selfie.
like the selfie, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
So I said selfie before Instagram or something like that. That's the title.
Oh, the selfie.
So before Instagram, so way before, ladies who want to admire themselves in the mirror.
Right.
So I made that one. I made a red lady sitting by the beach. So you're probably going to see it online or something. So those areas I use red a lot. You know, and in fact, I use the major hue I used there was red, red and probably orange and pink tones, just to cool it down a little bit. But I use red. I use red.
Did you intentionally go really cool with these paintings for a reason, or?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm walking sometimes, let me put it that way, I always mind my lines because line is what's going to tell you out your draftsmanship. No matter how abstract you're doing your work, your draftsmanship would explain to people if you are naive or professional.
Yes.
So when people see your abstraction, for example, the way the lines are arranged there, the way it's like music.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
they're gonna know if, oh, this is off note, or this key isn't very well. So it's all the thing your lines tell about you.
Okay.
So that's why when I do whatever I do, I always make sure I guide the line very well, so that the line would be able to they will see it as the strokes of the masters,
Very nice.
not like just
Right. Right. Because
haphazardly thrown all around and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people find art as asylum these days. They just rush into it, and good enough if they take their time to study it. You can be self-taught,
Yes.
but they never do that. They just rush into the market, and
Right.
when they have the opportunity, just like I said, of people backing them up, oh yeah, who's gonna ask them? They're
Yeah.
not.
Yes, there is a lot of privilege in art.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not what everybody thinks. So when I get to meet somebody such as yourself that has really like done it step by step
Yeah,
over the years,
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
just so impressed.
Thank you.
I really, really am.
Thanks so
So,
much.
if people want to see your art and get in touch with you, it would be through Instagram.
Yeah, through Instagram, and like I told you, I'm represented by at least 2, 3 major galleries. It all depends on where you're living. If you are like around Washington, I have a gallery there, Zenith Gallery, Washington D.C.
Zenith Gallery.
Zenith Gallery.
Yes.
If you are like probably in the Midwest, you're gonna go to Gallery Guchard, Chicago.
Gallery
Guchard,
Guchard.
Chicago.
Gallery Guchard in Chicago.
Chicago. And if you're down there in the South, anywhere in the South, well, you can reach out to African Gallery, Miami,
Okay.
or Art Africa, Miami.
At Africa, Miami.
Yeah, or John West Firm.
Okay.
It's an architect firm that has collection of my works.
Okay. And we're going to put the links on the bottom of the film. Yeah.
And if you're around probably Atlanta, Indigo Gallery in Atlanta.
Indigo Gallery, all right.
And if you're in Africa, you might be in Africa. I have my works with U.S. Department of States, in U.S. Embassy in Burkina Faso, and U.S. Embassy in Guinea Conakry, and they're working on another one in Nigeria right now, which I said I have to get done.
Wow.
Yeah, bilateral gallery.
Bilateral gallery.
Bilateral is the one that's holding that fort. Around
I commend you. I really do.
Thank you.
Bravo.
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Diaspora. Diaspora is from diaspora anyway.
Diaspora.
But the difference is art. That's DIART PORAINC Incorporated, because it's a registered company actually.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. I really thank you for the highlights you gave me.
I was looking forward to this all week, actually. I really was.
Thanks so much. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
No. And we always invite you back for more. Bring us more.
I'm always ready.
Okay.
I'm always ready
cool.
for listeners. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.